I can't take it.
No, please, no! He's gonna.
I'm just gonna grab it. Don't move.
Yeah. Oh, what? Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
What? It's still in my face!
Get ready to escape reality because 2025 is unleashing a fantasy lineup that will blow your mind. From ancient legends to pixelated realms and monstrous mayhem, we've got the most magical, mysterious, and mind-bending fantasy films coming your way. So grab your sword, your spellbook, or your keyboard because we're counting down the top 10 must-watch fantasy films of 2025. Let's kick things off with a nightmare that howls at the moon.
Back off!
Please, Daddy's mean. Hurry, Mommy, he's coming.
From the twisted minds behind The Invisible Man comes Wolfman, a modern monster flick with claws, class, and psychological terror. Christopher Abbott stars as Blake, a man teetering on the edge of personal collapse. His life unravels when he inherits his father's remote Oregon home. As Blake, his wife Charlotte, played by the ever-brilliant Julia Garner, and their daughter seek peace in the countryside, what they get is a violent, primal siege. When a beast attacks their farmhouse, the real horror begins, not just from outside, but within. Blake begins to transform, but is he still human? Or is the creature inside him far deadlier than anything lurking in the woods? From monsters in the moonlight to mystical creatures in the forest, let's head into a realm where fear turns into wonder.
Not like they say.
If Princess Mononoke and the Never-Ending Story had a love child, it would look like Legend of Ochi, a fantasy fable that speaks to both the child and the environmentalist in all of us. Meet Yuri, a brave young girl raised to fear the mystical Ochi, mysterious forest beings believed to be dangerous. But when she stumbles upon a baby Ochi, lost and vulnerable, her fear gives way to empathy. With danger at every turn, Yuri embarks on a breathtaking journey to return the creature to its kin. Along the way, she battles monstrous plants, outwits predatory beasts, and most importantly, unlearns the fears planted in her heart. From enchanted woods to enchanted blocks, get ready for a wild ride where pickaxes and imagination are your only way home.
What's this junk?
An ender pearl. Teleports you to wherever you throw it.
Yeah, right.
And that was the only one I had. No biggie.
Yes, you read that right. Minecraft is going cinematic, and it's not just a movie. It's an adventure of pixel-perfect proportions. 4 unlikely heroes, a garbage man, a coder, an artist, and a dreamer, find themselves sucked through a portal into the blocky chaos of the overworld. Monsters roam, piglins pillage, the laws of physics, optional. To survive and return home, they must learn the art of crafting, the power of teamwork, and maybe even how to build a diamond sword or two. With Jason Momoa swinging hammers, Jack Black dropping crafting wisdom as Steve, and a ton of heart, humor, and hidden Easter eggs, the Minecraft movie is ready to surprise both kids and longtime fans. We've survived werewolves, enchanted forests, and blocky battles, but trust me, things are about to get wild. Coming up next, carnivorous camels, undead elephants, and one very angry panda.
Grandma!
Did you just punch my grandma in the face?
Sorry, kid, but your grandma's a monster.
What do you get when a zombie virus hits a zoo? The most outrageously insane fantasy horror mashup of the year, Night of the Zoopocalypse. After a meteor slams into the Earth, it doesn't just wreck the landscape, it rewires biology itself. Inside the Culpeper Zoo, animals don't just turn wild, they turn undead. We're talking zombie giraffes, rotting rhinos, and one polar bear who rips through fences like paper. In this chaos, a lone wolf and a mountain lion form an uneasy alliance with a ragtag team of human survivors. Their mission? Take back the zoo and stop a grotesque mutant leader before he spreads the infection across the globe. From the jaws of the undead to the wrath of a man resurrected by rage, this next one doesn't just walk into hell, he brings it back with him.
お父ちゃんが
新庄には鬼が出る。これは非常に良くない。走れ！
Revenge stories are nothing new, but when your soul is fused with a demon and your only goal is justice, you don't just fight, you destroy everything in your path. Welcome to Demon City. Shuhei Sakata, a feared hitman known as the Immortal, tried to leave the underworld behind for a quiet life. But when the brutal Kimengumi syndicate slaughters his wife and child and pins the crime on him, his fate is sealed. Left for dead, a bullet in his brain, Sakata awakens 12 years later with something monstrous boiling beneath the surface. Now, he's on a warpath fueled by vengeance and something far darker. As he slices his way through crime bosses and shadow realms, He uncovers a conspiracy that threatens to tip the balance between hell and humanity. But sometimes fantasy isn't about revenge or survival. It's about power, sacrifice, and the terrifying price of desire. Next stop, the place where wishes become curses.
Friends of yours?
I don't have many friends.
Me neither.
Find them.
From the mind of George Martin comes a dark, morally twisted tale of sorcery, love, and the dangerous hunger for transformation in the Lost Lands. When a queen longs for the power to shapeshift into a werewolf, she turns to the one person feared by kingdoms and worshipped by outlaws, Grey Alice. Played by the commanding Mila Jovovich, Alice is a witch who can grant impossible desires at a terrible cost. Accompanied by the hardened warrior Boyce, Dave Bautista, Alice treks through the haunted, forgotten corners of the world, confronting bloodthirsty creatures and enemies born of nightmares. But it's not just a quest, it's a test of destiny, one where every granted wish carves scars into the world. Directed by David F. Sandberg, yes, the mastermind behind Lights Out, Until Dawn takes the slasher genre and twists it into a time-looping nightmare you'll never forget. 1 year after her sister Melanie's mysterious disappearance, Clover and her group of friends head into the remote valley where it all went down. What begins as a search for answers quickly turns into a blood-soaked game of survival. A masked killer is stalking them, and one by one, they fall. But here's the kicker. Every time they die, they wake up, right back at the start of the same horrifying evening. Only now, the killer is different, more ruthless, more terrifying. With each loop, the group begins to realize their deaths are limited. If they can't break the cycle, the valley becomes their eternal graveyard. It's not just about staying alive. It's about staying awake long enough to see the sunrise. Next up, a date night thriller that will make you question every text you get during dinner.
What do you want from me? I can't do that. I'll kill you if you hurt my son.
What if your biggest fear wasn't your date, but your phone? Drop stars Megan Fahey as Violet, a widowed mom stepping back into the dating pool. Her match? Henry, played by Brandon Sklenar, charming, witty, maybe too perfect. Their first date is off to a promising start, until Violet starts receiving cryptic messages. Someone is watching her. They know about her son, her sister, her home. The instructions are simple. Do not tell anyone. Do exactly as you're told, or they all die. As her sanity begins to fray, Violet faces an impossible final directive. Kill the man sitting across from her, the one she just started to trust. With every message, the tension cranks higher, turning this from a romantic dinner into a descent into paranoia. Before we drop into the next level of danger, let's rewind time itself and visit the roots of death's cruelest game.
Death is coming for our family.
I said, oh, 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 oh.
Death is back, and it's cleaning house. In Final Destination, Bloodlines, we travel back to 1968 with Iris Campbell, who barely escapes the deadly collapse of the Skyview Tower, thanks to a haunting premonition. Fast forward to today, and college student Stefani Reyes is tormented by recurring nightmares, visions eerily similar to what happened decades ago. She soon discovers the horrifying truth. Her family was never meant to exist. They've been living on borrowed time, death's time. The rules have changed. The deaths are more intricate, more brutal, from lawnmowers to MRI machines to a vending machine turned death trap. As the body count rises, Stefani must choose between sacrificing others or rewriting fate. And in a brilliant twist, William Bloodworth returns, bringing all the lore fans have loved since the original. If you're loving these picks so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing fantasy recs. All right, it's time for our #1 fantasy film of 2025, and trust us, this one's got claws. Not all fantasy journeys begin with swords and spells. Some start with paws and claws. Flo tells the story of a black cat swept away from his home by a catastrophic flood. But this isn't just a survival story. It's a stunning allegorical fantasy about loss, resilience, and the power of unlikely friendships. Flo finds himself navigating a waterlogged world with a ragtag group of animal survivors. A stoic capybara, a clever lemur, a sharp-eyed secretary bird, and a fiercely loyal dog. Together, they brave deadly currents, predators, and submerged cities in search of dry land and hope. What makes Flo stand out is its breathtaking animation and deeply emotional storytelling. This film will make you laugh, cry, and maybe even look at your own pet with a little more wonder. A must-watch for fantasy lovers of every age.